More than 800 people with one mission, promoting a healthy environment. We are the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection.
Protecting and improving the environmental quality of life for all West Virginians is at the core of our mission here at the DEP. And one of the ways we promote that is through education and outreach programs like Sustainable West Virginia. The DEP's Greg Adolfson joins us now from Williamson. And Greg, Sustainable West Virginia has projects in communities all across the state.
That's right, Kathy. Sustainable West Virginia oversees a number of different programs that promote things like energy conservation, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, pollution prevention, green building construction, all things that are taking place here in Williamson. The message is about raising environmental awareness and how some small, simple steps can quickly add up. But we begin our story about 200 miles north of here in Glenville. If you think your utility bills are high, meet Gilmer County Commissioner Darrel Ramsey.
We're talking, in a year, it's just about 30-some thousand just for the electric for the courthouse, and you think 5 days a week, just 8 hours a day, that is a lot of money. If you think about it, it's like throwing money out the window.
It's a problem facing many West Virginia county governments. Rising costs from older buildings that are just not energy efficient. The courthouse is heated with steam from a boiler, and on this winter day, a team from West Virginia University's Industrial Assessment Center is checking it for heat loss.
Get a good image of some of these piping that shows the temperature profile.
These assessments are part of the E3 Economy, Energy, and Environment Initiative that's part of the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection's Sustainable West Virginia program. Its aim to help local governments and participating industrial facilities reduce energy use and cost, minimize waste, increase overall efficiency, and reduce the facility's carbon footprint. The audits, along with recommendations for improvements, are provided at no cost to the participants, and while upgrades still cost money, many of those can quickly pay for themselves.
The cost savings would justify the investment because most of these recommendations would have an investment and return on investment in terms of payback less than a year, sometimes less than 2 years.
What began as a plan to look for ways of saving energy and improving efficiency in Williamson has grown far beyond that. Located in one of the most economically distressed counties in the region, Williamson, like many other once booming towns in Appalachia, finds itself at a crossroads.
With the government trying to survive with expenses rising and incomes kind of flat, that we needed to try to develop our projects that would take care of themselves. We needed to focus on some of our bad things. Our negative things turned out to be some of our opportunities. Our weaknesses are some of our opportunities.
Creating a sustainable community can be more challenging in rural Appalachian communities like Williamson, where roughly 1/8 of adults are diabetic and more than 1/3 are obese. Numbers well above the national average. But local efforts to create a community garden, local farmers market, and promote exercise programs are already showing positive results.
If people are healthy and they're well, they're going to be productive. They're going to feel like doing things in the community and helping out the efforts that we're doing here.
And if you're wondering how improving community health leads to economic development, it's not that big a stretch. Sustainable Williamson is working to create a model for sustainable development in low-wealth communities of Central Appalachia.
Really, it's about integration and creating connections between the different projects that communities are working on. Figuring out how food systems is linked to diabetes, is linked to workforce development, is linked to sustainable tourism, and really linking all those together to where it's building off of each other project's capacity.
In some places, they'll call that a green economy. Well, in here, in the heart of the billion-dollar coal field, we felt that saying we were going green would be controversial. So we intentionally chose the word sustainable. And as we've held sustainability workshops and things like that, what we've tried to do is educate our citizenry that all we're trying to do is be more efficient and be smarter about the way we do things.
E3 projects like those in Williamson and Gilmer County are helping to advance rural economies and providing communities with the tools to encourage local entrepreneurs and help develop a 21st century capable workforce.
Sustainability movement can help the coal mining industry, particularly with post-mine development. These are opportunities that we've never had before for large tracts of lands to be developed that we wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to develop to create real economic opportunity.
Both projects are great examples of reaching out to different resources, pulling them together, and getting the community behind the effort. The big picture takeaway in all of this is pretty simple. People working together can make a difference. Kathy, folks here in Williamson say it's a model that can be copied across rural West Virginia and beyond. In Mingo County, I'm Greg Adolfson for Environment Matters.
Thanks, Greg. You can find out more about Sustainable West Virginia programs by visiting our website, dep.wv.gov. The DEP is set to award a second round of technical assistance mini-grants offered through the Sustainability Institute at Bridgemont Community and Technical College and the West Virginia Sustainable Communities Program. The grants can be used to fund professional services for things like architectural, engineering, or marketing studies in communities looking to advance their sustainability goals. Last year, grants went to organizations in Cabell, Wayne, Wood, Harrison, and Greenbrier counties. Winners from this year's applicants will be announced in February. In July, DEP headquarters here in Charleston became the first state agency in West Virginia to generate a portion of its energy needs from solar power. The 2,700 square foot array installed on the building's roof will provide about 15% of the power to run the electronics here. The system also uses 4 solar collectors to help heat water for the building. Planning for the project began back in 2010. The project was funded through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act and the United States Department of Energy. The system has several interactive features that allow visitors to monitor the amount of energy the building is producing in real time. You can find the link on our website, dep.wv.gov. Coming up, when it rains, it pours, and when it pours, what winds up in storm drains and eventually our waterways can cause big problems. Ahead, a new tool to help communities deal with the problem of stormwater runoff. But first, when a big winter storm heads our way, most of us use some sort of ice melter to treat steps and sidewalks. While this makes the sidewalk safer for people, it may pose a hazard for pets and the environment. Rock salt and salt-based ice melting products can cause health problems, as well as contaminate wells and drinking water. There are a number of pet and eco-friendly alternatives on the market. Just check the label.